Earlier this year at Invictus, we introduced the Greycat MTC, which is the first in a family of ground vehicles from Greycat. The MTC was designed as this sort of utilitarian, all-purpose rover-style vehicle that allows two players to just bomb around the battlefield, exploring, storage on board for whatever they need, and then as well having mission storage boxes on the back. So really, it was a ground vehicle capable of doing the majority of our ground vehicle roles. And today we're introducing the MDC, which is your Mobile Defense Center.
The MDC is the ultimate ground support vehicle that you can take into battle.
It's designed to give you that little bit extra protection.
There's no vehicle that's better to support your team.
The first thing you're going to notice when you see the MDC is the PDT on the back, and Point Defense Turret. The PDT itself is new. It's a ballistic Gatling version of the existing bearing point defense turrets we have elsewhere in the game. Obviously, being a ballistic, it has finite ammo, so this will need to go back to a location to reload. But the trade-off for that is that it has an increased alpha damage, so it is more useful against shielded and armored targets.
So the reason we decided to put a PDT on a ground vehicle was because when you have events like Jumptown and people are there loading their ships and getting other bits and pieces, you're very vulnerable to attack, giving them a different means to actually defend themselves, or if they're on their own.
The PDT on the MDC is swappable. So that means you can have the missile variant, the Gatling variant, and the laser variant. The missile and the laser variant is now available in 4.4 within in-game stores.
Driving the MDC around is very much like driving the MTC around. Its handling is almost identical. It's capable of getting to places the MTC is capable of getting, and can be carried in the same sort of vehicles as the MTC. But whilst you're driving around, the PDT is automatically engaging threats against you as a player, whether that's incoming ordnance or ships. But as an added bonus, it is also very useful as a base defense mechanism. You can park this vehicle up, leave it there, and then it will continue the same role of defending against targeted ordnance and ships whilst you're outside the vehicle.
The exterior is a mix between utilitarian and minimalistic. We wanted to find good balance between those.
The MXC is a really nice chassis to work with. We thought about the different variants when we were designing the base chassis, and I think it lends itself really well. It kind of leans into that military idea of they don't want to be making everything from scratch. They want parts to be serviceable, they want them to be interchangeable. We've tried to keep the overall silhouette of the vehicle and its overall size as close to the main chassis as we can, but then when it jumps into action, the turret lifts up on this big platform that is very well supported, very, very strong, and it gives a little bit greater visibility, not only of the sky, but also of the surrounding area. You can see the engineering that's gone into it, and I think it's really successful in conveying what its purpose is.
The interior is based on the teenage engineering design, rounded corner and bold buttons.
As soon as you walk in, on the rear wall, it's all of the components. So everything you need to make the vehicle drive, everything you need to make the vehicle function.
My favorite part of interior is those two weapon racks next to each other, and just open the door, access to weapon rack, get the gun and go back.
You've got your fire extinguisher, and then you're straight into the cockpit, straight into driving it around and blowing things up.
I can definitely see these being used a lot within the universe, especially at things like Jumptown style events or the DMR rally, where there's always a threat of incoming ships ruining everyone's fun, or causing everyone's fun. I suppose it depends what side you're on.
It's my first ship vehicle that I worked on it from scratch, and very amazing concept from Sam.
I really have a good time designing it and finding ways of putting everything together, making everything fit and worked within the constraints of the vehicle.
This is the second vehicle in the family that we're showing, and I think you can see that commonality between the two existing ones. And it just adds that extra utility, which I think is very useful.
And we're off to the MFC next year for crafting.
It's for someone that wants to take those extra few steps just to ensure that something's looking out for them, that something's protecting them.
So what happens to the person who gets 30 of these and lines the top of their 890 jump with them?
That person feels really safe.